Well, tomorrow I have an appointment with a company called Relief, and they provide medical cannabis to people that are chronically ill. And I'm not really intending to have medical cannabis in any way, shape, or form, but I thought I'd have a look at the process and everything. I did a little bit of research, and it's absolutely awful. If I got accepted to have medical cannabis, bear in mind that I have quite a lot of opiate pain relief and constantly wear a pain patch, and I don't enjoy that. It has other side effects that are not particularly pleasant, and it steals away a bit of being yourself. So if I chose a path of something that, through most of the research out there, likely would be the safest way of getting pain relief, then I have to adhere to regulation. And the thing is that that regulation isn't aimed at making things better for people. It's aimed at making money and control yet again. And legally, the only people that can provide you with cannabis as a pain relief are companies or the NHS. Now, the NHS, because of the nice regulations, don't provide cannabis as pain relief for very many conditions. I think it's cancer, severe forms of MS, and there's something else as well. But other than that, you're not really going to get a chance at having medical cannabis to relieve pain. And the things that you could buy over the counter, they may have a slight effect at reducing pain, but they're really not. It'd be the same as taking an aspirin or a paracetamol. Right. So forgetting things that are quite strong and effective, you have to go through the processes, and the processes are awful. You have to have an appointment, which is fine. I accept that, no problem. But then if you get accepted, you can't smoke it. And I understand that, but you also can't eat it. So you can't use the cannabis that you're prescribed to eat. You've got to vape it. And you've got to use one of their vapes, which is 79 quid. And it's going to cost you around, at the minimum, £100 a month to be on medical cannabis. Now, anybody can grow a cannabis plant. You used to be able to grow it with budgie seed. Don't know if you still can. And there's stories about Cheadle Police Station in Stockport, Cheshire, where every year somebody used to go throw budgie seed over the wall, and every year they had cannabis plants growing in the garden. I saw them. So, but if you're caught growing a cannabis plant in the UK, no matter what people tell you, you can go to prison for 14 years. It's pretty unlikely, but you can, right? Because they see that as basically you're providing drugs to other people. You're a drug dealer. Even though you're not, it's very unlikely that if you're growing one plant, you'd be dealing anything. And so £100 of your money would go to getting a vape that would give you a pain killing effect rather than taking opiates and barbiturates. So why is this? Is it because growing a cannabis plant is inherently dangerous to people? It's not really, is it? It's growing a plant in your house or in your garden. And yeah, if you're growing it in your garden, someone's probably going to come and nick it, but you could grow one in your house. Bear in mind, I don't. I don't use cannabis, but I was considering it. And to me, this is all about corruption. If you look at the people that own the companies that are providing this cannabis, bear in mind it costs you £4,700 to apply for a license to grow industrial cannabis, but then you've got to jump through the hoops and you've got to be accepted onto the scheme. And realistically, unless you're a Mason or a Tory party donor, it's unlikely you are going to get accepted. Probably a Labour Party donor now as well, but that's the reality. And then if you are growing it, it's the pharmaceutical companies that produce it from what you grow. And these companies are the same companies that provide the opiates that prevent pain. But they charge more and more to the NHS. So for the NHS to provide cannabis will probably cost more per dose than the strongest morphine out there. And that's what it's all about. It's not about your health. It's not about my health. It's not about your safety or my safety. They do say that if you smoke cannabis, when it burns, it unlocks carcinogenics. I don't believe that really is as bad as smoking tobacco. And probably not as bad as inhaling the carcinogenics released from a private jet. Who knows? So you got to kind of ask yourself why it is so illegal. Why has no government ever decided to decriminalise it, to make it that it's legal for you to have cannabis, for you to cook it into cookies and cakes if you've got good reason? You can buy a bottle of alcohol. What's the difference? If you're eating it, you could have rules that if you're eating it, that you don't drive that day, or you work it out on how much you've eaten as to how long before you can drive or operate machinery. That's the same as most medication, isn't it? I just feel it's completely corrupt and completely wrong, and people are suffering again for greed, and that makes me angry. So I'm going to have this appointment. I'm not going to be getting any cannabis from it. I'm not going to be paying out for pain relief in that way. But I'm going to see what the process is, and I'll let people know how it goes.